Rocky Romanella is the founder and CEO of 360 Management Services, LLC, and author of the book, Tighten the Lug Nuts. With over 40 years of boots-on-the-ground leadership experience, Rocky creates excitement through his energy, passion, and knowledge in every podcast. During his 36 years at UPS, he led one of the largest rebranding initiatives in franchising history, the UPS Store, revolutionizing the $9 billion retail shipping and business services market. He also led the integration of more than 20 acquisitions that became UPS Supply Chain Solutions and let us improve financial performance, capabilities, and global footprint. Post-UPS, he served as CEO and director for Unitech Global Services, a telecommunications company, and serves as an independent board member and advisor. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy the discussion.
Do this look like work to you? Nah. Looking at the lights like it's all of this for me. Everyone tonight is here. All of this for me. Hands in the air, yeah. All of this for me. Bottles over here. All of this for me. Bottles bringing bottles, yeah. All of this for me. You for real?
Hello, Romo Sapiens, and welcome into another edition of The Rome Show here on HamiltonRadio.net, Channel 2, and Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1. We are broadcasting from the beautiful 360 Management Services studios. Head over to TightenTheLugnuts.com and pick up yourself a copy of the book, Tighten the Lug Nuts, and reach your leadership aha moment. I am Andrew Romanella. That is my partner, my brother, Rocky Romanella, and we are here all the way up until the 8 o'clock hour. You can call in the show at 609-807-2492. You can chime in on the Facebook comment sections or reach out to us on the social media at Wide World of Rome on the Twitter, the Gram. Rock, we got a jam-packed show, and I am excited to be here today.
I'm really excited too. I was just finishing up my share comments, so I got fired up while you were on the intro.
What did we comment on the share today on Facebook?
Today it just said coaches getting fired, players testing positive, but then not. Indy 500 probably not. Lil Wayne, NBA virtual fan for life. That and more on tonight's show.
I could watch just the NBA virtual fan screen the entire game.
Yo, there's some really good stuff on the virtual fanship for the NBA. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, actually.
I actually saw a SportsCenter post on the Gram today where they boxed out like one of the Maverick fans when Doncic hit the shot last night, and he's like leaning back on his chair, and the caption was like, when you know your star player is going to hit the shot or something like that.
Oh, that's good.
I'm like, that's great, though, because like that probably wouldn't be happening in an arena, like everyone's standing in that moment.
I'm just like so curious. So like obviously it's a virtual background. That's how it looks like everyone's in a stadium seat.
Right.
So there's that. But like, what does it look like from their point of view? Like, are they just watching a computer screen?
Yeah, I guess you're probably just watching it like it's TV on your screen, almost like you're in a Zoom meeting. Probably
but they don't change the angle. So to give me like virtual reality, like
that's a good question. You know what we should do?
That'd be pretty cool.
If anyone listening to the Rome Show tonight could please call in,
tell us how to become one.
Yes, 609-807-2492. Write it in. Whatever you need to do. How do we become an NBA virtual fan? Because I would love to tune into a Lakers Blazers game. Or get up in there on that Maverick series. I would love to be a virtual fan for any of those.
I mean, it'd be cool if we could maybe shoot next week's show as virtual fans and we could commentate on it.
See, now that would be pretty interesting.
That would be because like we could tell people what it looks like, how it feels.
Is the screen big enough for two?
Nah, that'd be funny. We'd show up we'd be a two-headed monster.
That virtual while we're doing the show. All right. So, listen, here's the deal. We got about 57 minutes left of this show. I am really going to put the trust and the faith in the Romo Sapien tonight that anybody out there can get the answer for us, okay? And find out how Rocky and I can be virtual fans for an NBA playoff game. We're going to talk about that and so much more. But I guess we should probably get into the show. And I got this day in sports history for you that I did not realize was in this moment. Just because so much has changed in 2020, you almost forgot that the Olympics were going on. What do I say by that? Well, on this day, Rocky, in 2008, the U.S. basketball team, oftentimes known or thought of as maybe a dream team too, with a Kobe Bryant and a LeBron James and more, won the gold medal, outscoring somebody by like 20 points. I figured that information didn't matter as much, but
Probably Greece or Spain.
it made me sad to think that we weren't watching the Summer Olympics this 2020 summer, because that was going to be the return of baseball and softball.
True. I definitely miss the Summer Olympics. I miss the Olympics in general. I think the Olympics are really cool. Like, I love that side of the sport.
Yeah. And well, we talked about this maybe a few weeks ago, and you said that is sports at its purest form, right? It was like running and jumping.
Yeah.
And that is where sport was developed.
Yeah, track and field.
Track and field.
Yeah, track and field. That's the Summer Olympics. So is your day in history the Olympics or just the 2008
It's the
Dream Team?
It's the 2008 Dream Team 2, as I'm going to refer to them as. But it brought up the point that, wow, I completely forgot that this is a year for the Summer Olympics, and we're missing out on that.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing for the Olympics.
Why?
Well, because I mean, if it
Well, I heard they're
obviously-
trying to return next summer.
No, they're going to. I think they're going to. And I think when Corona started, it was like, oh my God, no Olympics. But like, outside of you and me, no one's talked to me about it.
You're right. That's a good point. It's not like anyone's gone up or regularly said, I'm really missing the speed walking this summer.
But I think that that's true for a lot of the Olympic sports, is that you have athletes who literally dedicate their lives to an Olympic appearance.
You're right.
And you don't hear those stories ever until the Olympics are on.
You're right. That's a good point.
And those
Especially in sports that you don't normally turn the TV on and watch.
yeah, exactly.
Like the hockey, the basketball, you regularly hear about those sports.
yes.
The swimming, that's always an exciting one for people. Track and field's always an exciting
Yeah, the
one for
100-meter
people.
dash for sure.
Yes. Like sports in that realm, you're right, become at the forefront, and you get to really realize the type of athlete that exists out there that is outside the box of just that 4 major sport category.
Yeah, even the marathon has always gotten a lot of play in the Summer
You're right.
Olympics. Like if you think of the LA Olympics, I can't remember her name, but she's running on the freeway and like that's a good story. That's a good like motivational video.
Well, you're right. I mean, that's in the same realm as marathons, though.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
love. You ran a marathon.
a half.
That's still a lot.
Yeah, tell me about it.
13.2 miles.
13.1 in the half.
What was going on in your mind when you were like, this is a good idea?
I just wanted to challenge myself.
Okay.
Wanted something to compete for.
So I have a great story on this, by the way, before we get into straight off the rope. It's a quick story, great story. Okay. So Rocky's training for this half marathon. And by the way, someone I see you going back and forth. It's not you, though. See, this is the problem with you and Dad having the same name. I see Rocky Romanella comment on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, someone's shouting you out. So Rocky's training for this half marathon. When was this? 3 years ago?
I think 4 now.
Right? What was it? The one in Asbury?
Yeah, Asbury Park.
So Rocky tells me that he's trying to run an average mile of 7:30. And I think the overall time was like you wanted to finish in an hour and 20 minutes or something like that.
It was like my real goal was 1:45, but I wanted to push an hour and a half.
That's right. So his goal is 1:45, wanted to push an hour and a half. So when he tells me this, and like as you Romo Sapiens know that are regular watchers of the show, you could probably tell that there's a lot of support here between the two of us. For some reason, when Rocky said this to me, I just the first thought was, you're never going to be able to do that. Like what? Like 7:30 mile, like 1:45 half marathon? Like
he goes, how about we shoot for something more realistic, like 2 hours?
So that right there, if you know this man, means that he's probably going to run it in like an hour. And sure enough, you came in at
1:37:30.
And he proved me wrong. And it is the funniest story ever. Story that there's not many times that we've disagreed with each other outside of, just regular sports disagreements. And this one I'll never forget. And your reaction was the best. And I remember saying to myself, man, he's going to blow this thing out of the water.
What do you think? I'm in a wheelchair? Like, come on.
I honestly, I don't know. I guess I don't know. So look where this day in sports history brings you. And, you were a history major, right? You love history. Okay. When you start diving into the history of sports, it's funny how much deeper you get into current day sports or the way the game is played. And that's why I think teaching the history of certain games is so important to young athletes, because they need to know where the game developed from. They need to know where it's developing to. And when you talk about the history of sports, it's crazy how much you learn about that given sport.
Oh, no doubt. And it just brings so much nostalgia. Here's an example on exactly what you just said. Flyers Islanders tonight. First time meeting in the playoffs since 1987.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I know.
You would think that two franchises that have had a long history of success.
That's 33 years.
I did not know that.
My entire lifetime, I've never seen them play until tonight.
And not only is
in
that,
the playoffs.
And it's in the bubble.
I know.
It's not even on.
It's not even real. You can't even have that. I know. But again, you're right. I mean, it does bring you back to memories, moments. It's a lot of fun.
It is. So, if you're bored one day, do yourself some research on your favorite sports. You'll learn a lot. All right. My straight off of the Rome today, ladies and gentlemen, comes from a really, really close place. Okay. For multiple reasons. All right. And by the way, if there's ever a time to comment on a portion of this show, I really want it to be now, because I would love the opinions of most people on the topic I'm about to bring up. And here it is. Okay. I tweeted something out to the public. Let me find my cell phone, because my goal here was to read you this tweet. Okay. I tweeted something out to the public on Sunday morning after I'm going to call it a situation, Rock. There's no real word to put on it, in our game on Saturday. All right. Here was my tweet. Baseball has no shot clock, game clock, or time limit. You play till 27 outs are collected, and you can't run out the clock or waste time. Teams that feel disrespected when guys are, quote unquote, still playing up by 5+ runs is embarrassing. If you don't like it, play better. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. And here's my point about this. All right. And it's twofold, and I'll tell you the story about our team in a minute. But it starts with Fernando Tatis Jr., the San Diego Padres versus the Texas Rangers in a 10-3 game in the 8th inning with bases loaded. It's a 3-0 count, okay? Now, last time I checked, all right, there is no shot clock, there's no game clock. So as long as there are outs to be collected, there is an opportunity for a team to come back. So if I'm the team in the lead, and at its simplest form, in the smallest form of disrespect, all I'm naturally going to do is you throw it, I try and hit it, we'll play baseball at its purest form. You throw me a 3-0 fastball, and I park it 450. That's not my fault. That's your fault, right? That is your fault. Now, if in the 8th inning of that same game, Fernando Tatis Jr. doesn't swing at that pitch, right? But after that pitch is being thrown back to the catcher, the guy at third base steals home. Okay, now you can scream disrespect. I understand that, right? But where have we gotten so soft, and I'm going to say that, in these unwritten rules in baseball, to where we're going to get mad at dudes for playing the game at its purest form? Here's the deal. Your stats make you money. That's facts. What you do on the field is a direct reflection of what your career will become and how much money you will make in your career. And oh, by the way, if Fernando Tatis Jr. finished with 499 home runs in his career and never swung at that 3-0 pitch, think about that. Think about that. If you're going to groove a 92-mile-per-hour fastball over the middle for an all-star, he's going to hit it out of the park. So where do we get off throwing at the next guy? Where do we get off saying that's disrespect to the game? You know what it is to me? It's passion. It's fun. It's what the fans want. I do not understand why every time we talk about the game of baseball, Rock.
Controversy.
Yes. And it's so
every time.
Stupid.
Controversy.
This is why fighting in hockey should translate to every other sport. You know what?
Well, they did fight.
I know, but it's not the same. It's so soft. Like, I'm going to use that word again. And so I'm going to let you respond to that so I can cool down before I tell my story, because it comes from a personal place. But at the end of the day, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen or heard of. And I don't think it's any disrespect at all.
I'm a very respectful person. You talk a lot about disrespect. I'm a very respectful person. And I had a lot of respect for a coach that I played baseball for in high school. You know him. His name's Jeff Trundy.
Great man.
And listen, there was a rule that I had to follow as a player that I still believe is true. I think for whatever reason, I'm pretty sure it's in the Universal Baseball Code Book. And it says if you get thrown, if you're going to swing at a 3-0 pitch, you have to hit a home run.
Yes.
So like Fernando, so based on what my point of view, Fernando Tatis Jr. just did what the coach told him to do.
He was just listening to direction.
Right. So he's, that guy's just following direction. But in all seriousness, like, dude, I listen, like, don't be in that situation. A, like, why are the bases loaded? B, and like, C, like, no, my job is not to stand up there and like take a walk or take a strikeout so that you can get out of the game.
Feel better.
Like,
That's
honestly, if you feel that disrespected and you can't take the loss that bad, then you should petition the MLB to put in a fucking you should petition the MLB to put in a 10-run rule so you can get mercied because that's what, less embarrassing?
100%. But then what are we talking about here? Little League baseball? That's my thing. So like, if you're not going to put in a run rule, which the reason for a run rule, ladies and gentlemen, is to not make the other team feel bad when you're scoring an insane amount of runs. And the thought process is, at the college and professional level, you should be good enough since you're on that level that if that's happening, you need to be good enough to stop it and not let it happen. There's no mercy rule at the Division III level, 2-1, JUCO. There's no mercy rule.
No mercy rule anywhere but Little League.
Exactly. So if there's going to be no mercy rule, and I have a bat in my hand, and I'm in the box ready to hit, and you're going to throw me a fastball down the middle, I'm going to drive it out of the ballpark. Now,
well, it's funny, like, because when you're looking at the MLB short season, though, like, you were like, oh, this is going to give teams an opportunity to just go nuts. Like, we're going to see hitting festivals because no one's ever going to be out of a game.
Yep.
Like, if I go down 10-0 in the first inning, it's not like the coach is going to throw in some long reliever and just try and get out of the game.
Every game matters.
Every game matters because there's so many. So, like, why are you giving up?
Why? And at any point in time, a comeback can happen in baseball. And I know it might be a small percentage, right? If you're down by 7 in the 9th, it might be a small percentage that you come back from that. But A, we've all seen it before.
Moneyball.
Right. B, right? B, here's the biggest one. There's no game clock. There's no game clock. What means that is, right? And that was very Yoda of me. What that means is, okay, until I collect 27 outs, the game can never end, right? The game can't end, so you always have a chance.
Unless it rains.
So here's my story, okay?
And it was raining baseballs.
And I want it was raining baseballs in this story. And I want your opinion, okay? So the New York Brave, wrapping the Brave on the shirt right now, the New York Brave, follow us on Twitter, NY Brave Baseball, are playing a game on Saturday. I'm going to leave the other team out of it. I'll leave all their names out of it. I'll do the right thing. But I'm going to tell you the story. So we're playing a game on Saturday. We're home 6:30. By the way, go to nyboulders.com. Pick up your tickets for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The New York Brave are playing the New Jersey Wise Guys at Palisades Credit Union Park in a 3-game series, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was just changed. It's exciting. Come out, support the Brave, nyboulders.com. I want to see your face. I want to see you wearing your Rome Show gear also. So I'll get to the story. Tangent. We're up 10-3. We put up a 10 spot in the bottom of the third inning, okay? Now, here's a cool side story. Our catcher hit 2 home runs in 1 inning.
That's really cool.
It was sick. He led the inning off with a bomb.
Yeah.
And then hit a 3-run home run in his next at bat.
Dude had himself a night.
We hadn't recorded it out. They hadn't recorded it out yet.
Yeah, dude had himself a night.
Oh, wait, it gets better. Because of the situation I'm about to tell you, he got himself ejected in the next inning.
Oh, that's too bad.
This is great, right?
He still had a good night.
So we're up 10-3. It's the bottom of the 4th inning.
Might have a better night.
We have blown a lot of leads by multiple runs this year, Rock. So me, as the manager, in the bottom of the 4th inning, I'm saying to myself, until about the 7th, I'm going to keep pushing our offense normally. I can't put, because we're going to give up runs. I know it. We've been giving up runs. I know how. That's fine. Right? So I have our first baseman who's like 6'7", 230, right? At first base. 1 out. Our catcher who hit the 2 home runs is at the dish. Our first baseman looks at me. He's like, he's not holding me on. I'm like, you're right. So I watch a pitch. Middle infielders don't move. First baseman still holding him on from behind, though. Not anywhere for a pickoff move. This guy's a 1.75 to the plate. What that means, people, is that when he starts his motion,
he's slow
till the ball hits the catcher's glove. 1.7 seconds, right? So I look at him, I say, take the base. Because I'm trying to avoid the double play now. If they're going to give you the base in the 4th inning, that's stupid on their part. take the base.
If they don't want to play, they don't have to.
Right.
I'll play.
So he goes to take the base. Phil swings and fouls the ball off. Okay. And the second baseman starts chirping him. Like, I was up to AAA, which you weren't. Baseball Reference is a real thing. You were only up to single A. I was up to AAA, and if you did that, you'd get thrown out, and you'd cost yourself like $1 million, blah, 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 blah. And Brennan, who's our first baseman, is like, essentially, dude, I'm like going to crush you. That's how big this kid is, right? Just don't talk to me that way. So then the kid looks at me, because we talk every game we play, and he looks at me like, 4 runs, pointing at the scoreboard, or 7 runs, pointing at the scoreboard, 7 runs. And I look back at him and go, it's the 4th inning, bro. It's the 4th inning. So now their manager starts chirping me. Okay. Now their manager's chirping me, and I look over at him. I can't hear what he's saying, right? So I walk up to him. I'm like, are you chirping me? And he's like, yeah. Does that guy normally steal bases? I'm like, no, but I've done that with him 3 times this year. He's like, if you don't normally steal bases, you can't steal in that situation. I said, Bob, it's the 4th inning, right? And you're going to now hold him on, and I can avoid a double play. We've blown 3 5-run games this year. We've blown them. It's the 4th inning. If this was the 7th, I understand your argument, but it's not. It's the 4th. So I'm going to keep playing baseball, right? Well, their pitcher throws at my guy. Up and in, almost hits him in the face, right? So now the umpire, Francis, great dude. He's one of the best umpires we have at the pro level, and that level. He warns both benches, okay? Then says the next, because now the catcher's chirping, our hitter's chirping, the pitcher's chirping, their manager's chirping. I'm not saying anything. I'm just laughing. So I'm like, this is embarrassing. You're all embarrassing people. You're embarrassing second baseman because you were offended by that. You're embarrassing manager because you really think that in the 4th inning of this game, I should stop. And here's my argument. In the top of the 5th inning, when you come to the plate, are you going to stop hitting? Are you going to? Because if you're going to stop hitting, we'll stop hitting. We'll all go up. We'll bunt it back to the pitcher. We'll get to the 9th inning. We'll get out of here. Let's make the agreement. Because if you're going to keep playing and your guys are going to keep trying to come back from 7 runs, then I'm going to keep trying to build on my lead.
They should just forfeit.
Right. That's my point. So now, and so what happens? My catcher gets kicked out because the umpire says, next word, you're all out of here. He doesn't hear him. He goes, this is ridiculous. He threw at me. Francis throws him out of the game.
That sucks.
My catcher.
Jerry.
Where's my backup catcher, Rob? In the DH hole.
Oh, that's too bad.
Do you know what happens when you take the DH out? It means every time the DH spot comes up, there's a pitcher, the catcher spot comes up that got ejected. There's a pitcher hitting in that spot. So now we have to just hope, right? Like we have to play the. So guess what happens? Give me the guess, your guess of the final score of the game.
Yeah, they came back.
We won 12-11.
Yeah, of course. That's what always happens.
So what are we talking about? That's embarrassing.
It's the same. Listen, it's the same when in old days, in old time hockey, right? If the other team goes up 5-0, right? Someone on the other team goes and skates and runs into the other goalie and takes him out. Starts a huge brawl, right? And then, for whatever reason, the team that was down 5-0 finds themselves back in the game.
Right, but I don't understand. Like, if you want to, so what? You're gonna throw at my guy, right? That they didn't throw at my guy because of anything else.
It's like reverse psychology. Like it's crazy.
But that's absurd to me. That is actually a thing. Because if that's a thing,
but it worked.
No,
kind of.
It didn't really work though. What worked is the fact that I was right. That I knew that this was gonna. I told him from the get-go in the 7th, if you're gonna chirp me, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now why this is happening. One, because you're an idiot. You should have your dude holding my guy on. I don't care if he's 6'6", 250. I've stolen my catcher 3 times this year.
Yeah, but they came back.
They did, and that was my point. Imagine if that guy steals the base, Phil hits another double, he had 2 home runs, now he gets kicked out, now everything's a mess, and I'm sitting here saying to myself, what was the root of this problem? You felt disrespected because your dude wasn't good enough to get 3 outs before we scored 10 runs. Is that my fault or yours?
I don't know. Is it your fault that you got thrown out because they suck?
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that was my fault.
Yeah,
that was definitely my fault. But that's my point. Like, if you don't like it,
it's like playing video games. It's like playing video games versus you. Like you were so bad that like I ended up just not being able to beat you because there's no predicting it.
Yeah. So every time like 5 minutes left in the 3rd period, it was like 7-2. Rock would just throw his controller and be like, "I'm out of here."
No, I'm just saying. Like, listen, I get it. I'm
just tired of softness. I'm tired of it. Like, we play the game for a reason. So if you don't like it, right? Find a way to stop it. That's it. If you're slaughtering me, and by the way, in my career, I've lost games 22-2, 27-3. We lost a game to Mercer Community College 45-3, right? Like, that's a football game.
Yeah, that sucks.
But hey, were they stopping? Did I feel disrespected because every time we threw a ball over the plate, they hit a freaking double or a home run? No! That's our fault for not being good.
That was good batting practice for that team.
Great batting practice for that team. And I think it was like their third squad.
I think got celebrated for it.
Right. So at the end of the day, right, if you're someone out there that's going to play a sport, okay, or you're somebody out there that's going to mentor somebody playing a sport, or you're like Rocky and my siblings, and you have children and you're going to mentor them in playing a sport, I have one piece of advice. Do not let them get to this softness level. Make them compete. Make them understand that when you compete and you worry about competing the entire time, good things will happen. When you start to worry about whether or not you're disrespected or feeling disrespected, or you start getting caught up in the stuff that's not about competing, that's when things go awry. And to your point, my guys got caught up in the things that weren't about competing. And instead of just putting up 12 more runs and talking that way, we got caught up in everything else.
That's what happens.
And they came back.
So, that maybe it's, well, from a management standpoint, like the second baseman is the soft one. It's not the manager. The manager's like, I got to defend my guys.
That's true. You're right. That's a good point. Like if he doesn't say anything,
but if the man
says something,
but from a managerial standpoint, he just made the right move because this guy's got fired up and they almost came back. They almost came back.
My catcher. Oh God.
I mean, it's a chess game.
I might tell you that was the hardest game I've ever managed in my entire life.
Chess game.
It was chess.
It's chess.
And I don't know if you know this, but I'm not very good at chess.
Well, because there's a lot of detail.
That's a lot. Like certain pieces can only go certain ways. Like it's wild. It's like the harder version of Tetris.
Yeah. Listen. This is what happens. Like people can't, if you can't keep up, you start holding, you start jabbing, you play a little bit dirtier because you want to get the other team off their game.
I agree. At the end of the day, don't be soft. If you're getting your teeth knocked in by another team, I got an idea. Bear down and compete so that it doesn't keep happening. That's all. That's the end of the story. That's it. And that's what I believe. So, I knew, I got to tell you, I'm not going to lie to you. So while this was going on, okay, so this is what, Saturday? Literally going on in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot wait for the radio show on Monday. I'm like, literally, I'm standing at third base and I'm like, I cannot wait for the radio show on Monday. Because and the response from my tweet was very great from a lot of people. Someone had to say it, a lot of clapping hands.
Yeah, that's because when you look at the incident with Fernando Tatis Jr., everyone's singing the same thing.
That's a joke.
Like, yeah, especially there, you're just like, yo, let the guy. Listen, you threw it.
Right.
Guy just parked you. Like, don't be mad. Don't be mad.
And again, it all comes down to statistics. Your career is defined off statistics. I'm not going to get my stats worse so you feel better about yours. No. If you suck, I'm taking advantage of it, and that's the best thing for my career. And I'm sorry, it's a dog-eat-dog world out here in pro sports.
Listen, here's the other thing, too, that people forget. Listen, you get to the Hall of Fame by failing 7 out of 10 times in baseball.
I hate that, right?
So why?
I hate it.
Okay, so you're telling me that it's that difficult just to get a hit, that you're telling me that because you're up, I need you to now not only hit the ball, but I need you to only hit a single.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
can you limit it to one run,
just
please?
only hit when you swing. I got to have it on the ground and through the middle if it's going to be a hit.
So essentially it's just a hit and run.
It's like exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, what do you want the guy to do?
Yes. Yeah. It is just, it's, and for me, and I think about this with hockey too, though, and with basketball and with football. If you're playing it at the purest form, like in football, this is the example I kept using when I was talking to people about it. If I'm up by 21 points with 4 minutes left, okay, I'm still going to play the game because I have to. I'm not just going to take a knee, and punt, right? So if I break off a run,
analytics says take a knee, punt, and play prevent defense for 2 minutes. I don't know why.
I might just be the Giants. But like, I'm going to still hand the football off. And hey, if I break a 72-yard run, no one's going to feel disrespected that I didn't run 20 yards and take a knee. They're going to say, why did my defense allow that to happen when we're trying to get the football back so we can try and make a miracle of 21 points happen? What's the difference? There's no difference. You happen to be throwing a baseball and I happen to be hitting it. He happened to be getting handed a football and running past 11 people. What's the difference? Do you want Saquon just to run into the line and fall over so your feelings don't get hurt that you gave up 230 instead of 175? No, you suck. You deserve to give up 230. That's how I feel.
No doubt.
Wrong? Am I wrong?
Listen, don't suck today.
Yes. Well, how about this? LeBron goes to the free throw line. End of a 22-point. You think he just didn't miss the free throws on purpose? No.
No chance.
That's my point. It's stupid. It's stupid. So 609-807-2492. You know what I want? If anyone does decide to call in or write in on the Facebook, I want your story of a time when you were in this moment, because I know everyone's been in this moment.
Most people have been in this moment.
100%.
You're typically on the other end, but yes, sometimes on the winning.
For you, on the other end?
No, both sides. You've been on both sides, but you
I've been on both sides.
remember the one you lost.
I remember the ones I lost.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
first time I ever hit a home run in college. Only time I ever hit a home run in college. We lost 22-2.
Yeah, listen, it sucks.
You know who started that game?
I won 3 games in 2 years. My first 2 years of college hockey. Like, I get it.
A lot of losing on the Rome Show in our careers, but a lot of winning with you tonight until 8 p.m. Listen, here's the deal. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to take a break. All right. Andrew Romanella, Rocky Romanella, taking you all the way up until the 8 o'clock hour here on HamiltonRadio.net, Channel 2, and Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1. We will be right back.
Rocky Romanella is the founder and CEO of 360 Management Services, LLC, and author of the book, Tighten the Lug Nuts. With over 40 years of boots-on-the-ground leadership experience, Rocky creates excitement through his energy, passion, and knowledge in every podcast. During his 36 years at UPS, he led one of the largest rebranding initiatives in franchising history, the UPS Store, revolutionizing the $9 billion retail shipping and business services market. He also led the integration of more than 20 acquisitions that became UPS Supply Chain Solutions and let us improve financial performance, capabilities, and global footprint. Post-UPS, he served as CEO and director for Unitech Global Services, a telecommunications company, and serves as an independent board member and advisor. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy the discussion.
All right. Welcome back into the Rome Show here on HamiltonRadio.net, Channel 2, Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1. Get us on the Twitter and the Instagram at Wide World of Rome. Like I said, taking you all the way up until the 8 o'clock hour. All right. So left on the docket, now that I've cooled down a little bit off after the break. I mean, the coffee warmed me up a little bit, but I'm cooled down for the most part. All right. We got a lot to talk about, but I think I have arguably one of my favorite segments that I've created since the Rome Show. Trivia. Okay. Do you want to know what the name of your trivia is tonight, Rob?
I do.
Okay. The name of your trivia tonight is Name That Place.
Okay.
It is the college and professional version of the show, Name That Place. All right. So essentially what happened is I got
Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
How'd you know? So Name That Place is going to be centered around colleges and professional teams. Okay. By place, I mean franchise and or university/college. All
so
right?
not like cafeteria.
Not like cafeteria or like pro player stadium.
Section 323.
Yeah,
AT&T Stadium.
Exactly. None of that. All
That's
right.
where the sniper lives, by the way.
All right. So we're going to get started with this team founded.
Can I get a warm up?
Yeah.
Nah, you got mad because I torched him last week.
We're going right into it. All right. Here's the deal. Name That Place, Rocky Romanella, College or Pro Edition. Here it is. This team, founded in 1994, is located in the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area. All right. It reached the championship of its respective sport one time in its franchise's history and played all of its games at Giant Stadium until 2010. Can you name that place?
Red Bulls.
Correct.
Boom.
Wow. The New York Red Bulls, founded in 1994, currently play their games at Red Bull Arena, located in
Newark, New Jersey.
There you go. They reached the MLS Cup one time, and that was in 2008, and they were originally named the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars.
That's right.
That is a terrible name.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Once they disbanded the New York, New Jersey Red Bull Metro Star, whatever the hell they called them, New York then got another team in the city,
NYCFC.
playing at Yankee Stadium.
Thierry Henry played for the NYCFC.
Yeah, that was the thing. They didn't have as many like big name dudes that came over and played for them.
Yeah, weird.
Probably because they're in Newark, New Jersey. All right, moving on. Number 2,
Let's go.
founded in 1967.
Wow.
Okay. This franchise has qualified for the playoffs 42 times in its history.
Wow.
That is the most for any team in their respective sport that was not an original team. Okay. They have 1 championship underneath their belt and 10 division championships. They play at the Enterprise Center. Can you name that team?
Wow. 1 championship.
Mm-hmm.
1967.
1967.
Not an original team.
Not an original team in their respective sport.
St. Louis Blues.
Wow! Bam! Nailed it.
Woo!
The St. Louis Blues won the Stanley Cup in
Last year.
2019 in one of the best stories of all time, really, from worst in January record in the league to Stanley Cup champion at the end of the year.
Boom.
The other statistics I have on you, essentially, the real stat is they have 42 playoff appearances, which is the most for any team that's not in the original 6 of the National Hockey
That's
League.
pretty good.
Very good, right?
By the way, I was not teed up for this.
No, he was not at all. That was literally straight off the cuff.
Boom.
All right. New York Red Bulls and St. Louis Blues have gone better than I anticipated.
Let's go.
So let's keep moving on.
It's only getting harder.
Yes, it is. This institution was founded in 1885.
Ooh.
Okay. Their motto, Die Luft der Freiheit Wet, which stands for recognize that the wind of freedom blows. Their mascot and name don't make sense. They have 126 national titles, which is the most of any university.
Their mascot and name don't make sense.
Don't make sense.
Okay.
And I once stumped you on this same school.
Stanford.
Dang. Nailed it. Why does their mascot and their name not make any sense?
Because it's a Christmas tree.
Because they are the Stanford Cardinal, and their mascot is a tree.
Boom.
And one time we played. What teams ended without an S?
Yeah.
What Division I college football teams ended without an S?
Yeah.
All right, good. Enzo's on. He finally made it.
What's up,
now
Enzo?
we're ready to go. Okay. This organization, founded in 1966, is the oldest professional team in the state that they reside. In the same state, all 4 major sports have multiple franchises. This program has 2 championships, 13 division titles, and 5 conference titles. Name this place.
LA Kings. Ooh. It's California, though.
I don't know. This state.
It's the state.
4
You're asking
major-
the team or the
I'm
the
asking
team?
about the team, but I'm just saying the clue is this state, all 4 major sports, each major sport has multiple teams.
So California.
Really? I mean, if that's what you think, and then you can guess all the California.
So
teams.
baseball has 2, more
Okay.
than 1. Baseball's like 5.
So we
Basketball
can
has more than-
establish that California has that.
Okay.
Can you establish another state that might?
New York.
Okay.
Okay. So
And is there another state that might?
Chicago.
Okay.
Okay. So 2 championships.
2
In their history?
championships, 13 division titles, 5 conference championships.
Oh, so maybe the Blackhawks.
No.
It's not hockey, is it? Is it
I
hockey?
will tell you it is not hockey.
Okay. So it's baseball.
I don't know that.
Well, like, so I don't understand. Do you want me to guess the team or the state?
I want you to guess
This
the
is
team.
location.
I want you to guess the team. The
Okay,
hint
but you've
was-
given me no hint on
Yes, I did. They are the oldest professional team
oldest professional team
in their state,
in their state.
which also has 4 major sports franchises or leagues with multiple franchises. Okay.
Oldest team.
I couldn't tell you their stadium's name because you don't know their stadium's name.
Well, no, because there's only 1 football team in Chicago, so it's not there.
Guess it's not Chicago.
Okay, so there we go. So
All right.
I'll go back and forth here.
Okay.
I don't think it's New York. I really don't. It's got to be California.
Okay. It could be California.
It could be. But
Would you like me to tell you the state?
Is it Texas?
Nope.
No.
Getting closer.
Okay, so if it's closer to Texas, then I'm gonna stay in the Midwest.
No, dude. Just think for a quick second, like how this hasn't run through your mind yet.
Because you're you're
All right, so
asking
then
me
I'll-
location, but
I'm not
the
asking
team.
you location. I was giving you a hint.
You said this is a location game.
No. Well, yeah. Like name that place. Like what is this team? It should be called name that whatever. Whatever. The place is located in this state.
The place is located in this
The state is Florida.
Oh, Florida. Oh, I was just about to say it.
Like, I mean, come on. Like, you should feel, for how good you were on the first three, you should feel terrible about how you just went against me on Chicago and New York.
Chicago's not even a state.
It's not even like
Enzo told me
it's
that.
Illinois. But anyways.
Yeah, either way. So we're in.
Now, this franchise
It's the oldest.
founded in 1966.
Oh, yeah, it's the Dolphins.
Thank you. Oh, my God. How did you get the St. Louis Blues? And you just... When I said you don't know their stadium's name, how did pro players? I even teased this
Because you actually, I thought I didn't know their name.
I teased it too. I said pro player stadium.
Yeah, foreshadowing. My bad. I didn't pick up on the
Let's
signs.
go. Okay, so
Guys stumped me once out of the last 10.
Stumpy. All right, here we go.
It's easy. I can make a beat. I can give you the false title and then a completely different set of.
Don't complain on the fourth one. Don't get the first three right and get excited and then
All right,
complain on the
Here we
fourth
go.
one.
Okay, give me another one.
Name this area somewhere that does something. Founded in 1977.
Okay,
This organization has 0 championships,
that sucks.
but a current Gunnery alumni playing for their team. Multiple Hall of Famers have played here, and they have literally like 5 colors in their uniforms. Name that place, organization, possible college, franchise, institution, noun.
For whatever reason, my mind's going to Colorado, but I know that that's not right because it's purple, black, and white. So that's
Right, just
that's
3.
Pretty simple.
I'll let you think about it for a second before I give you the clue that probably gives
It's
it.
baseball,
You are correct about that.
and I know it was posted on their Instagram about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I reposted it on my story.
And it's a pitcher.
Yep.
And he just had his first career start.
And one interesting fact about this pitcher that's now in Major League Baseball, I toured him on his tour at the Frederick Gun School.
I think I'm pretty positive it's on the West Coast,
Okay.
and it may be North. I don't think, do the Mariners have more than one uniform? Like, how many colors do the Mariners have?
A lot.
Yeah, so it's the Mariners.
It's the Mariners. Yeah. A famous father-son duo once played together there, and that was?
Ken Griffey Jr.
There you go. That Gunnery alumnus is Justin Dunn. He was actually drafted by the New York Metropolitans. He went to Boston College out of the Gunnery, was drafted very early, I think in like the first round.
Oh, that's
honestly.
the kid, the Boston College.
Yep. And he actually just got 2 weeks ago his first major league win with the Seattle Mariners. Shout out to Justin Dunn. I hope you're listening to the show. I actually have a cell phone number. I should try and get him to call into the Rome show. Yeah. The Seattle Mariners, 0 championships, but multiple Hall of Famers have played for their organization.
A-Rod.
That is
Oh, that's it?
today's trivia
Oh,
section.
4
What?
for 5, no big deal.
4 for 5. Not a bad day for you.
Yeah, no.
Listen, I felt like what I think I'm going to do now, all right, is we've got to, it's called trivia.
Is it time to reverse again?
It's called trivia, but like we do a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
So I think we should choose our favorite 4 games, 4 trivia segments. I think Name This Human is definitely on top of my list. I think the Spelling Bee is definitely on the top of my list.
Spelling Bee was tough.
Spelling Bee was hilarious. Whatever one you did to me that one day. And I think we make this consistent thing. So people, I know the Romo Sapiens really enjoyed, Name That Human. I know that there was a lot of excitement today in the people that I talked to about you guessing that place. And I think it lived up to the hype, right? And the Spelling Bee is just hilarious. Because, I mean, you could go through the NHL's Rolodex for a year and you might have no idea.
No chance.
So we're going to move forward with that.
Mika Zibanejad.
Write in your suggestions is what I'm trying to get to here. At Wide World of Rome on Twitter and Instagram, or send us an email at theromeshow1@gmail.com. Tell us what your favorite trivia segments have been on the Rome Show. It's kind of funny. You know, good things. I keep saying this. It's been a tough 2020 for our world, but there are positive things that have come from this. And for the Rome Show, I believe that as well. And I think one of the positive things, two positive things came from it. Rome Show March Madness,
Trivia.
and trivia. No doubt. You know, Rocks Reviews is fun. Don't get me wrong.
I want to get back into, well, I think there's a good segue here because I want to talk about Justin Dunn and draft order and draft class because you wanted to talk about Luka Doncic.
609-807-2492 if you want to get in on it.
The only reason I'm going to do this is because I have a trivia about Luka for you.
Okay, talk to me.
What team did Luka play for prior to coming to the NBA?
Oh, it was a team in Europe.
You get one hint.
Okay. Someone else
Lionel?
also played there.
Lionel Messi.
Oh, it's FC Barcelona, the basketball team.
I played for Real
right?
Madrid.
Was I close?
It was Real Madrid.
Oh, it was close though. Yeah. It's the same as the soccer team, right? Because it's owned by the same people. Yeah, Real Madrid. And see,
Messi does play for Barcelona, but Ronaldo doesn't play for Madrid anymore.
but
so
here's my thing, right?
you wouldn't have known.
So, do you know what team originally drafted Luka Doncic?
You told me before.
Yeah, I did.
Atlanta Hawks.
The Atlanta Hawks drafted Luka Doncic, number 3 overall 2 years ago, and then traded him to the Mavericks for Trae Young. And there was a little bit of skepticism on what Luka was going to do in the NBA. Was he really a guard? Was he quick enough? Was he old enough? Was he mature enough? Was he strong enough? In the last 2 years, he's proved that and more. Last night, he went for 43, 17, and 13. Hit a game-winning step back in overtime like he's been in the league for 10 years. And in my opinion, I don't know if they need to win this series against the Clippers, Rock, for us to say, truthfully, Luka Doncic has arrived.
This is why I've never gotten very excited about draft day at all.
Because you don't know.
I am such the skeptic when it comes to people going nuts over the draft for this exact reason. Why would the Atlanta Hawks? So what did they want him for at number 5? Right.
Yep.
And then why would they trade him?
Right. I agree.
And what did they get back for him? And why wouldn't they have?
Don't get me wrong. Trae Young is legit. He can shoot it. He can handle the ball. He's going to be somebody that you can build a championship program with, but not around. And what you see with the Mavericks and Luka is you can build a championship program around him.
Was Steph wasn't number 1?
Steph was not a number 1 overall pick. He was a number 9 pick or something like that.
You could build your franchise around a top 10 pick.
100%.
So how do you miss on that? What are the factors that make people miss on it? And then what are the factors that make people go nuts about these dudes? Because I can't take it.
I think in terms of a situation like Trae Young, for example, and Steph Curry, to your point, Steph Curry happens, right? Comes out of Davidson. He could shoot it. We all saw he could shoot it in college, but there was a little bit of skepticism about whether or not he could do it at the professional level. He does it, changes the game of basketball. I'm a firm believer in that. Steph Curry has more of an impact on the change of basketball in this 2010s and 2020s decade than LeBron James does, or anybody else for that matter. That's a side note. Because of that, now you're starting to look for the next Steph Curry. So you see Trae Young at Oklahoma 3 years ago, and he's dropping bombs from half court. He's scoring 32. He carries Oklahoma to the NCAA tournament. They're a terrible basketball team. He carries them there. And I think you get bought in on that right there. And it's an argument you make a lot about the one-year quarterback in college. Right? Okay, we only saw this for 1 year. We saw Luka do it at a close to pro level as a teenager, and then still as a teenager at the pro level, and then at 21 years old, come to the NBA and do it again, right? So why, to your point, would you ever pass on that guy who's been a professional already?
I want there to be a Chris Carter, come on, man, and Randy Moss. You got mossed for
bad draft pick
for Mel Kiper, and for anyone who said any of these dudes was going to be great or was going to suck, because unless you have the organization around you to build it, and to have the vision of what you actually are, like you don't know.
You don't know. You don't know.
You don't know.
That's why I think the character of the person should matter so much.
They just like it makes me crazy. Like I don't understand how people can go so nuts over draft day.
I think,
Like everyone's like, "Oh, Rangers got the first pick. Rangers got the first pick." I'm like, "Okay."
yeah, it's great.
Like, "Oh, you're gonna get
the
a
guy
you're
still
gonna get
has to
this
be
guy.
good.
You're gonna get Luka." I'm like, "Okay."
That guy still has to be good.
Like I need to see him play.
Yes. And
Right?
I'm
I'm sorry, I
at
don't watch
this level.
And by the way, I didn't watch you play in college, so I can't get too excited.
One, right, that's true. And two, whether I've seen you play or not, I need to see you play at this level.
Yeah.
Is the game too fast for you? Can you still do the same things we fell in love with? Well, before we get off it, I just want everyone to know this. In 4 games against the Clippers, Luka Doncic is averaging 31.5 points per game, 10.5 rebounds per game, and 9.8 assists per game. Those are stupid numbers. Stupid. And I'm curious to see. They play game 5 tomorrow night. It's a 2-2 series. I'm curious to see because I'll tell you what, that Clippers team in the bubble does not look as good as the Clippers team outside the bubble. The NBA is heating up, and you know who else is heating up? The coaching search. The Knickerbockers are looking for one. We've talked about that. But now Philadelphia 76ers are looking for
The
one.
Sixers find themselves in the same position as the
Fire
Washington.
Brett Brown.
Find them same position as the Caps.
Yep.
Right.
Get
Championship caliber team underperforming.
Yep.
Dude, that's the coach.
Yep. And they got
Every time.
they got swept. But see, here's the thing with me in Philadelphia. I do think that Brett Brown had to be fired, right? But Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Al Horford, you got some personalities on that team.
Underperforming.
Is that something that you need to look at as well? Or are you just scapegoating the coach and seeing if it can still continue
Dude,
to
it's
work?
the coach's fault for not being able to bring the best out of those guys.
But at the same time, like, can you always blame it on the coach? I mean, I don't think so.
In a scenario when you believe you have the talent, yes.
Okay.
Well, look, I mean, yeah, I think for sure, because at this point, you have put so much into the process, specifically in Philadelphia. I mean, the whole trust the process started in Philly.
Literally, what, 5
And
years
it
ago
didn't
now?
start there, but
But
it's been made popular.
Embiid and Simmons have been good together, to your point, for like 6 years.
I mean, but like we're getting closer to 10 years, like a century, than we are 5 years.
Exactly.
And it's just like, okay, dude, like we're at the part of the process where you're supposed to be winning.
Yes.
And if I need to give these players one more chance at it, because if I don't, then I got to start all over again.
Yeah, and I got to change the head coach to do that.
From an organizational standpoint, like it's last stitch before it's like, maybe we just suck.
So
like,
I heard some rumors today, Rock, okay, that Greg Popovich was somebody that, now I don't know if this is just rumors or people just hoping for stuff, but the thought process of Greg Popovich being traded to the 76ers to become the head coach there, right? Now, I've heard few different people that liked it, didn't like it, whatever the case is, right? My question to you is,
why not?
I agree, but does that work with those personalities? Because Embiid's a big personality. Ben Simmons is an interesting personality. Al Horford's a vet, and I'm not going to lie to you. It's not like I know they have Covington and a few others that are good players, right? They're good players. But I think about those 2 or 3 guys that are the main guys in that franchise. Does that work?
It works if they want to win.
Great point.
It works if they want to win, because I think there is, so as individual as the NBA is, there's more of a price on championships in the NBA than in any other sport when it comes to your resume and how people think about you,
Absolutely.
feel about you.
Right.
Right. Popovich has that. Right. So as a player, if Pop's coming in, like at this point, like, and for younger guys who probably saw just as much of the Spurs as they saw of the Bulls as they were growing up.
True.
Maybe more Spurs than Bulls.
You're right.
Right. You might have caught, like, at their age category, they might have caught maybe
More
They might
of
have
the-
caught MJ's last, but they might have caught more Tim Duncan, David Robinson than they did. And
You're
then
right.
even Tony Parker.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and Manu Ginobili.
Yeah. you're
Right. They
100% right.
probably caught that more. So, I mean, and not to mention Pop's got the USA team,
True.
which I think Ben Simmons is on.
And Embiid was on, I think, or at least in tryout camp or whatever.
Right. So if that's the case, right, it might make sense in Philly.
Either way, you're right, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's why I said the first minute I heard that, I'm like, do it.
Yeah.
Because if you're giving these players that are currently put together on the Sixers one more chance to run at this title, they're not firing Elton Brand, their GM. They're keeping him in place. So you believe the personnel is correct. You believe this one personnel needs to be switched. If that's the case, you can get Greg Popovich. Because my
Who
thing
do you
is,
have to give up to trade the coach?
do you remember? I don't know. Because do you remember when the Miami Marlins traded for Ozzie Guillen?
Yeah.
From the White Sox?
I do.
And we were like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're not trading for Joe Torre. You're trading for Ozzie Guillen. Why would you do that? This is not the same scenario, in my opinion.
I do remember that, and I still can't tell you why to this day that happened.
Why?
But I used to be a big proponent of trading Terry Collins and Daniel Murphy for Buck Showalter when the Mets were like in a good playoff run.
Oh, then we might not have made the World Series, though, Daniel Murphy.
Yeah, well, that's true. But anyways, I mean, I don't know who. Like, what do you trade a coach for? Do you trade him for Peter Brand? Like
And I have
no, like Peter Brand, like in Moneyball. Like didn't Billy Bean trade for Peter Brand?
Yeah, I think he traded like.
I think he traded like
baseballs
and like
A vending
a couple vending machines.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, he gave him something like that.
I think you just buy. I think you just trade cash.
I think it's cash.
I think it's
for
a buyout.
manager.
Yeah, it's cash.
But if I'm the Spurs and I'm like, yo, send me Embiid, I'll send you Popovich.
Yeah, but where am I at as the Spurs organization? Am I the same? Like,
No, that's why I think it makes sense.
yeah. I mean,
I think it's time.
from a Spurs standpoint, like Pop has so much aura or whatever that you almost, if you're going to rebuild it, you have to start with him.
Yeah, but the thing is, twofold. What does Pop feel about the rest of his career? Right? Because there's no doubting how old he is, right?
No doubt.
That's the first thing. And the second thing is, how does he feel about finishing his career in one place?
He's only coached the Spurs.
He's been essentially, Greg Popovich as the head coach of the Spurs, and he's nothing else. Now, he was on the Nets staff when they went to the championship and they lost to the Lakers, right? But
If he wins, it won't matter. The same way Phil won in LA
how long has he been in San Antonio?
for my whole lifetime.
Really?
I think, yeah.
I don't believe he's head coach of another team.
By the way, we called someone at work today whose name, speaking of the Spurs, this is really funny. We called someone at work today and his name was David Robinson.
Really?
And I go, oh, like the David Robinson? And I have like a young kid on my team who's like, who's that? And I go, really?
He didn't know
I was
who
like,
he was?
like, yeah, he had no idea who David Robinson was. I was like,
Yeah, dude. Listen, he was an assistant on the Spurs in 88-92. Then he was with the Golden State Warriors as an assistant from 92 to 94 and has been the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs since 1996. He has been coaching basketball since the year 1973. How about this?
maybe he needs to retire.
How about this for a trivia question, Rock? Before entering the NBA, right? Can you name, this is just going to be a great guess. I just want to know if you know this. There's 2 schools that he assistant coached at in college, and there's 2 schools that he was the head coach at. In your wildest dreams, you think you can guess any of these 4 schools?
Can I get hints?
Yes.
All right, cool. So are they big names?
One of them is a military academy.
One Air Force.
Yeah. Okay, that's number 1.
Boom.
Another one has a very famous basketball team that I usually always pick in the NCAA tournament. Love their head coach.
You love their head coach. Well, if it was Dad, it'd be Michigan State.
But it's not. It's me, not Dad.
Kentucky.
No.
You
Close,
don't-
though.
You don't like
Also has a K.
also Kansas.
There you go. All right. So he was the assistant at Air Force and the assistant at Kansas. Okay. This next one, he was the head. Oh, it's the same school. I just realized that. It's just he was there twice.
Nice.
I don't even know what hint to give you.
There's a lot. By
I'm
the
just
way,
gonna tell you because I have no hint. I couldn't give you a hint on the school because I'm actually mind blown.
is it D3?
I
is
think. Let me
it,
check.
or is it like 1AA?
It is a Division III school
A division?
in Southern California. They compete in the Southern California Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, and their mascot is Cecil the Sajin.
Wow. I have no idea.
Pomona Pitzer College.
Look at that. So, is he from there?
I don't know. I'm just mind blown.
Why?
Because that's great.
Well, that'd be like if you made it. And let's say in 40 years from now, you were the head coach of the Mets, and you had 2 dudes sitting in their office,
In their radio
talking
show.
sports, and be like, "Yo, could you imagine that Andrew Roman will start Raritan Valley Community College first ever coaching spot?
Who
Like,
the hell is this
like,
guy?
I coached at like I mean like
Who
that's the
the-
same thing.
Who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
Well, and just so you know, Greg Popovich, born East Chicago, Indiana.
That's
That's
like
terrible.
That's like Indiana
West
University
New York,
of Pennsylvania.
New Jersey.
It's like IUP, Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
Where do
It's
you
like,
live?
come on.
Yes, West New York, New Jersey. Yeah, I live there. Oh, that's
Doesn't
that's
make
a cool place.
any sense.
None whatsoever. Here's the deal, though. I have sad news for you.
Yeah.
It's 8:00.
Yeah, time to go.
Isn't that sad?
Yes.
This is a great show.
By the way, I was reviewing the NBA tonight, and I actually think they're doing a great job. And I was reviewing virtual fanship.
Oh, that's so funny. And
Yeah.
because you love Lil Wayne.
Yeah, no doubt.
And see, I was gonna throw a side review in there. I have all 4 NHL series before we leave here because the people need to watch them. Specifically, as he mentioned before, Islanders Flyers.
That's gonna
That
be my
starts tonight.
Favorite one.
Right now, watch it. Right now. Then Stars Avalanche, Stars up 1-0. Bruins Lightning, Bruins up 1-0. Vegas Vancouver, great. The Vegas team is so much fun to watch. Up 1-0 on Vancouver. They won 5-0 the other night. Watch the hockey.
Flyers. I'm gonna go Flyers Boston,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna go Vegas Dallas.
Really? See, I'm going to go Islanders, Dallas, and I believe the Lightning are going to come back because they're avenging last year. I think the Lightning win that series, and then I got Vegas running away against Vancouver.
Vegas.
They're legit. Vegas. This has been The Rome Show here on HamiltonRadio.net, Channel 2, and Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1. I am Andrew Romanello. That is Rocky Romanello. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Remember, if you want to hear more of The Rome Show, check out The Rome Show podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, but specifically Apple, Google, Spotify, and SoundCloud. We will be back with you next week, August 31st at 7 p.m. And until then, check the social medias at Wide World of Rome. Peace.
Rocky Romanella is the founder and CEO of 360 Management Services LLC and author of the book Tighten the Lug Nuts. With over 40 years of boots on the ground leadership experience, Rocky creates excitement through his energy, passion, and knowledge in every podcast. During his 36 years at UPS, he led one of the largest rebranding initiatives in franchising history, the UPS Store, revolutionizing the $9 billion retail shipping and business services market. He also led the integration of more than 20 acquisitions that became UPS Supply Chain Solutions and let us improve financial performance, capabilities, and global footprint. Post-UPS, he served as CEO and director for Unitech Global Services, a telecommunications company, and serves as an independent board member and advisor. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy the discussion.
Do this look like work to you? Nah. Looking at the lights like it's all of this for me. Everyone tonight is here. All of this for me. Hands in the air, yeah. All of this for me. Bottles over here. All of this for me. Bottles bringing bottles out. All of this for me. You for real?
Check it out.